Yvesangelist, Tsareena, and Choice Specs Goodra on a Kyogre team was able to place in the top 25 of the last stadium ladder season. We're going to be trying it out and seeing how well it can perform. This is a powerful Hisuian Goodra team that was able to place top 30 on the stadium ladder. Although it didn't do so well at the Japan National Championship, it is still a really strong team or best of one close team sheet. Normally, we would see Goodra on teams usually run as a Calyx Ice Rider counter because of its ability to set up Iron Defense, Shelter, or Acid Armor, get the defense boost, and then become one of those really strong body press mons. And this one takes a completely different approach. This is a rain team that we've seen pretty similarly to the team that, for instance, Shiliang Tang used really early on in the format. And Justin Tang, they were able to do really well at a regional championship at the Indianapolis Regional Championship with the core of an Assault Vest Kyogre, the Yvesangelist with the Tailwind, and then Tsareena with Scarf Water Urshifu. The idea of the team is to have a bulky core with that really offensive Kyogre that's able to do a lot of damage in the rain, while having that Assault Vest is able to boost up its special defense and is able to tank attacks decently well and fire back with really strong rain boosted moves. Alongside the Choice Scarf Urshifu powered up in the rain with that Certain Strikes, the Tsareena to block any priority, the Yvesangelist to help out, for instance, against the Calyx Shadow Riders and set up its own Tailwind, which is nice. And this one running a Rain Dance tech, which is absolutely cool because you can go for a Rain Dance to reset the weather against Koraidon and Groudon teams, which is really unique. Just the standard course, except Helping Hand on the Tsareena with Protect here. Wyland's pretty standard with the Triple Axle and the Power Whip, and Ice Spinner on this Urshifu to help out with opposing terrains. The Landorus is a pretty interesting option because Landorus is not too uncommon with Pokemon paired with Kyogre, but this one running a Focus Sash set. And normally we usually see Life Orb as the premier item on Landorus because Life Orb and Sheer Force is an excellent combination. You don't take that recoil from the Life Orb. But this one saying, I do enough damage with that Sheer Force, I'm still able to get two hit knockouts or one hit knockouts when I need to. Just go with that Focus Sash and able to surprise opponents, catch them off guard, and be able to fire back even more moves potentially. And it's really nice because it's able to help out and not be fearful of a lot of common moves in the format, such as Glacial Lance. It can actually stay in, throw off a move if it wants to, instead of playing defensive all the time. And finally, this Choice Specs Hisuian Goodra, which normally would be a defensive mon, but this one taking some initiative so you can get some really surprise knockouts on Pokemon like Fluttermane or Raging Bolts. Calyx Ice Rider takes a bunch of damage from Flash Cannon. It has really good coverage. So overall, it is a mon that can hit pretty hard. The Sap Tip is also really nice on this team. And then you just have the Hisuian Goodra that's just immune, that can switch into any grass type move. So you don't always have to go for that Grass Tear immediately if you don't want to. Is a really nice option. Great against Rillaboom. It just hard counters every Rillaboom that just doesn't run high horsepower. It helps out against Amoonguss tremendously and fires back some pretty strong damage to Pokemon that Kyogre might have a hard time hitting. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. Whimsicott, the Walking Wake, Heartflame Ogerpon, Koraidon, Fluttermane, and Incineroar. Sun versus Rain. I mean, it's not too bad. I do really like Yvesangelist in this matchup. Yvesangelist, Fluttermane's pretty good. Normally I would want to lead Landorus against these kind of teams, but the problem is it's not easy. The problem is that they actually have quite a few threats to Landorus, which I do have to watch out for. I still want to bring it in the back because I still think it's useful against Koraidon. And I think Kyogre. I could also lead Ursh if I want to. But I think it's the same problem if I don't really have a Moonblast switch. I think that this is fine overall. It really just depends on what they lead here. If they lead Fluttermane, do I want to go for a Hurricane into the Whimsicott, or do I want to go for a Snarl? Do I want a Terra, I think is a question. I think the Terra is the big one. Let's see. Whimsicott Koraidon. Okay, perfect. This works out actually pretty decently well for me. They have Sunny Day is a good question, I guess. I mean, I feel like they should Terra. If you don't Terra, you're in a really weird spot. I kind of like the idea of just going for a Hurricane into the Whimsicott. The question is, do I want to Terra to Goodra? They don't have a Bolt. So I could Terra and go for a Draco Meteor. Or I could just Rain Dance. I like the idea of going for the Hurricane and swapping on a Kyogre. I don't know if they have Sunny Day on the Whims or Focus Sash, because it could be Focus Sash Flutter. It could be Cover Cloak Whims. We'll find out. I do want to see what this turn implies. Bring out the Kyogre, up the Rain. No double out. They didn't Terra. That's bold right there. I could have Hurricane that slot. Collision Course to Goodra. Interesting. They would have let the Koraidon go down. All right. Hurricane in the Whims. Yeah, it was Cover Cloak like I thought. All right. This is Flutter Mane. Do I have one Moonblast? Flutter Mane comes in. I don't think they're going to Terra the Koraidon. I think they're actually just going to go on the offense. I think I'm actually going to Hurricane the Koraidon. Hope that they go for the Collision Course into Kyogre for more pressure. And I'm going to go for just an attempt of an Origin Pulse, I suppose. They actually retreat the Koraidon. All right. Into what? Walking Wake. All right. So I'm still getting some pretty decent damage in the Walking Wake. My Terra is still pretty useful here. I do have to watch out because they do have a potential Koraidon switch afterward. This is tricky. If I Hurricaned the Koraidon turn 1, it would have been really fire of a position, but this is still weird. Okay, they Dazzling Gleam. Less damage than Moonblast. Good damage in my Kyogre, though. A Hurricane into the Walking Wake. Really solid. Origin Pulse. Not bad, but it's not a knockout. I need to match the Tailwind. I think I'm going to go into Goodra. It's a bit risky to go Goodra here. But I just am worried because I think Yvesangelist is going down to combination of Hydro Steam, Dazzling Gleam, and I can't do anything about it. Like, we're definitely going down in rain. Hydro Steam. Yeah. All right. It's Life Orb actually on the Life Orb on the Wake. That means I can protect and I can go for a Flash Cannon into or Ice Beam, but I don't want a Flash Cannon or Ice Beam. I think I Ice Beam. I think I Ice Beam. I don't expect them. Did they double up my land? Or I think they do. Dazzling Gleam. I want to keep Kyogre because if we deny the Sun, I think it's pretty valuable. All right. Hydro Steam it is into the Landorus. I am able to get the Ice Beam off into the Flutter Mane. I don't think they're going to expect Sash on the Goodra, and that's kind of what I'm banking on here. Koraidon going to come out. All right, so kind of had to get some things right here. I'm going to go for Sandsear Storm, and I'm going to go for a swap into Kyogre. Special attack booster. They don't have Tailwind anymore, so if it's special attack booster, well, they could still outspeed Landers pretty easily. I'm Sandsearing and going to Kyogre. Because I think it's okay to sack Kyogre here. The question is, did they double up the Lander slot or not? Because they could Terra here. Well, the thing is, Terra Koraidon a bit weird. We'll see. No, they did go for the Collision Course. Okay, perfect. They Collision Course to Goodra. Excellent. So I'm able to get a Sandsear off, KO the Wake, as well as a lot of damage into Koraidon, and now I can Draco Meteor because Focus Sash Lander is coming in clutch. All right. We can't get burned from Hydro Steam, thankfully. Critical hit, no big deal because we have Focus Sash on the Landers. Now, how much damage do we do to Koraidon? That's actually a pretty big note. So much. That's actually so much damage. And we'll have single target stance here afterward. All right, we go Goodra. This is how it's probably going to come down to. Goodra, you just got to hit the attack. Just hit the attack. That's all you got to do, buddy. All you got to do. Because let's see if they target the Landers or they target the Goodra. If they target the Landers, they have a chance if I miss. Unless they have Terra Fairy, which I'd be very shocked at. Yep, Terra Fire. They're definitely going for Landers. Because I went for Ice Beam the previous turn to bait a potential Terra Fire. They go for Flame Charge in the Landers, right? Yeah. Okay, Goodra. Just gotta hit this one. Unfortunately, that's the game of Pokemon sometimes, man. That is the game of Pokemon sometimes. Unfortunate. There is so much emotion in me right now. It's like I want to smash my monitor. And I bet there are some people who would. But that is the game we play. Now, I'm not someone who breaks monitors. I think I take good care of my stuff. In fact, I've been using some old monitors ever since I bought them back in 2016. So they are quite old and have a few problems. Sometimes they do flicker occasionally. Luckily for me, Pixio was generous to reach out to me in order to sponsor today's video. Pixio sent me the PX277 Prime Neo with a 27-inch display, a 1440p resolution, 180 Hz refresh rate, a fast IPS panel, and a 1 millisecond response time. You could check out a lot of their amazing monitors, which are great for either gaming or editing stuff. Check out all their amazing deals at pixiogaming.com. In fact, Beast Coast actually uses Pixio monitors for all of their competitive teams, including their R6 team that just won a major event. Make sure to check out all their amazing deals that they have and take your gaming experience to the next level at pixiogaming.com. Link in the description down below. Been using this to edit the current video that you're currently watching. So let's hope that Goodra can actually make a appearance and do better, because that Draco Meteor Miss has not been a great starter for it. But again, thank you to Pixio for sponsoring this video. And let's see if Goodra can get its act together in the second half of today's video. This is one heck of a team. Iron Hands, Ninetales, Regice, Oranguru, Ursaluna, and the Miraidon. So Miraidon hates Assault Vest Kyogre, but I don't exactly like Iron Hands. Iron Hands is pretty difficult. Landers is really strong, but they do have Snow. I do have Rain to counteract, but not exactly easy interactions here. Yeah, I probably... Iron Junglist can do something because I can actually Rain Dance in front of the stuff, but I don't think that's really that great. I probably always want to bring Urshifu. Urshifu Lander seems really good to me. I'm going to bring Urshifu Landorus. Do I want to bring Farig? I don't even think it's that good. It does help out against the Iron Hands, though. I don't expect him to lead Iron Hands of Oranguru immediately, right? Can you do that? I guess that's the question. Because I was thinking I could pivot. Actually, no, I do like this lead. I think Kyogre plus Goodra. I don't know. This is going to be tricky. So the reason I like this idea is because if they lead Ninetales, I have the option to switch in Kyogre for like Landers and Surge Strikes to Ninetales. I also have the option to go for the opposite, so I kind of like that. Although I don't think you should lead Ninetales because obviously Kyogre would negate the weather immediately. So maybe now that I think about it, wasn't too great. We are going to see the Miraidon Regice off the bat. Is it bad just to go for Sands here close combat? I don't have Terra Ground or anything. I feel like I'm okay with just going straight for the damage, realistically. That close combat's going to do a lot to Regice and a Terra that's acceptable. I'm just going to Sanseer. Why not? Just risk it all. But right, I'm going to hard switch actually into the... I could have U-turned, but okay. Ninetales, that's fine. I have Focus Sash on my Landorus, so I don't think this is that big of a deal. And we already forced him to burn their Terra. The only problem is the Miraidon's still going to be a little bit annoying, but we do have Terra still available, so we could go for like Terra Grass. We're going to see the Terra Water, which is okay. What is Blizzard doing? The thing is also, because they Terra, they get rid of the weakness, but they still take a lot, as you can see, because they don't have the snow defense boost. Okay. Sanseer, get a huge hit off. Beautiful. Blizzard, sure. All right. They already Terra, so this is good. I'm gonna just go close combat to Ninetales, and I'm gonna swap into Kyogre. I don't know if they're gonna retreat the Ninetales. They don't really have a good close combat switch though, so I feel like they would just attempt a Blizzard. They don't know my item on Urshifu though. We are gonna bring out our Kyogre. We can have them have a chance to miss the Blizzard. They Thunderbolt, they're crazy. But yeah, close combat into Ninetales. They didn't see my item, so I was able to go for that pretty safely. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to knock out the Ninetales in snow with that, so I just thought to get rid of that, guaranteed with the rain. Blizzard, they do connect. Take a bit of chip, but the thing is, the damage that they're able to do is nowhere near as much as they were previously. We can now go out into our Goodra, or we could go into Landers. I kind of like Goodra more here. You're gonna go Iron Hand, sure. All right, Goodra out. We get the Quirk Drive. I need a way to get Landerson decently safe. I think I always just Draco Meteor the Regice, and I go for a Water Spout. Do I ever Terra here? I feel like it's always Fake Out. I don't need my Terra though at all in this game. Ground, I guess, could be useful, but I think I just Water Spout. Because if they Fake Out, I always get to kill on Regice. I'm a little bit worried if they do go for the attack into the Goodra with the Iron Hands instead of faking out here. There's not like much I could do. And if they do that, it's still, they take a lot of damage. We are able to get a Water Spout and a Draco Meteor off, which is huge. That's good damage to Iron Hands, actually. How much does Draco Meteor do from Goodra? Can Goodra show me some big damage into an Iron Hands? A knockout would be great, but I don't know. If I was modest, I could believe it. Okay, it's stunned. Oh, wow. Goodbye, Iron Hands. Goodbye, Iron Hands. And that should be a wrap. Because my opponent can't really do much power with electric moves. If they're choice specs, they have to lock into a dragon type move. I guess if they have Dragon Pulse, sure. But yeah, no Fake Out means I was able to get a Water Spout Draco Meteor combination follow-up. Like, they could have sacked Miraidon, I suppose. But if they sacked Miraidon, then like I was winning with Landorus. So yeah, they just didn't have a great spot. They had to play super reactively with the Regice there, and because they play super reactively with the Regice, then they burned their Terra early, and I was able to get huge momentum because like the Terra, they were able to survive and get a big hit off, but Focus Sash Landers also coming into play. We could go for Draco Meteor and an Ice Beam. Battle's gonna be forfeited. I don't know if they're specs or not, but really likely that they were able to beat Goodra, Assault Vest, Terra Grass, Kyogre plus a Lander sign in the back. It didn't seem realistic. Rayquaza, Grimmsnarl, Urshifu, Metagross, King Gambit, and Ting Lu. What am I dealing with here? Okay, Grimmsnarl is going to be a little bit annoying. The Rayquaza. Okay, sure. Why am I facing Rayquaza? The one time I'm using Kyogre. All right. I do have Ice Spinner on my Urshifu, which actually does help out against Rayquaza. I actually do like the Urshifu lead. Urshifu puts on a lot of pressure against him. Urshifu plus I want to go with Yvesangelist. I don't think it's that great, realistically. I think I'd rather lead. I'd rather have in the back if I need it. I think with Goodra has really good offensive pressure against his team, so I kind of like it a lot. Kyogre in the back for sure. I don't think Tsareena's that good. Landorus can put in a lot of work, but the thing is, I'd imagine Rayquaza's being brought. I think Urshifu's being brought, which kind of limits on what Landorus can do. I don't know if Ting Lu is going to be brought. I think that's like the one wild card. Like, I think Landorus could be really useful to help out with one of King Gambit or Metagross, but I can really just outpower them with the power of Kyogre, and I'll still have Urshifu potentially around, so I don't think it's necessary. Like, I think in order to position Kyogre well, I think I'd rather have Water Spout, and the fact that I have the Yvesangelist is still like valuable because Tailwind is great. Hurricane is also good into their Urshifu, which is a pretty big one. Grimmsnarl plus the Rayquaza. All right, let's see. Frisk, not Prankster. They have Fake Out. They know I'm Choice Scarf. Do they know I have Ice Spinner? Because if they don't have Ice Spinner, I could just Ice Spinner and Draco. I'm gonna Ice Spinner and Draco. Actually, no, I Ice Beam, right? Draco does more, though. Because if they Terra, like, Draco Meteor does it, but you know what? I'll Draco. I will fire off a Draco. We're gonna see Fake Out into the Goodra. Yep, they don't expect the Ice Spinner on the Urshifu, so Ice Spinner will come out into the Rayquaza for some big damage. It's a Focus Sash set, unfortunately for me, but that's actually not too bad. Oh, that's really not that bad. Okay, they went for Swords Dance. All right, that's perfect for me. I think this is probably Thunder Wave coming out, which is... I don't like losing Urshifu, but I think it's fine. I'm going to Flash Cannon to Grim and just Ice Spinner to Rayquaza. They need to have Thunder Wave in order to go for it. They also have to be scared of a Tsareena switch, but I don't think I would likely bring Tsareena into this matchup. But they could think I bring it to help out against a Water Urshifu as well as a Ting Lu. And if I expected the Prankster on the Grim. Actually, wait, no, because it's Frisk Grim, they summon items, they can't be Prankster Thunder Wave, so I just always get an Ice Spinner off. They go for a boosted extreme speed, but it's not enough damage into the Urshifu. This Ice Spinner gonna go crazy into the Rayquaza, pick up the knockout into that Rayquaza, and this is a Choice Specs Flash Cannon coming out into Grimmsnarl right here. That's the Babiri Bear? Okay, I was like, wait, they have a berry? No, it's I did not think you were Babiri Berry. That's way too random. We are able to eliminate their lead right off the bat. So Dominator Rayquaza, the biggest threat to the Kyogre. Beautiful. That's insane. When I saw the Frisk, I saw the Fake Out. I'm like, okay, it's more likely that they want to say the Terra. Unless the Urshifu has the Ice move, they're in a good spot. Yeah, this ends up being perfect. They bring out the Metagross and the Ting Lu. I want the Water Urshifu to do Water Urshifu things, like Surge Strikes and Rain. I'm just going to Flash Cannon, get some big damage into, I guess, the Ting Lu. I'll go be forfeited. Love to see it. Get out of here, Rayquaza. What are you doing here? Don't invite you to the party. Koraidon, Fluttermane, Grimmsnarl, Cornerstone, Ogerpon, Golden Go, Raging Bolt. Okay, Sun versus Rain. Which, it's not... Okay, it's not bad, but it's not great because Koraidon's actually still a pretty big problem offensively. Landorus is pretty good here. I really do like Landorus. The question is, what do I want to pair it with? I kind of like Landorus Goodra. I think Landorus Goodra covers a lot of options for the most part. I don't really like Urshifu in this matchup. Kyogre's going to be always brought. Tsareena, it's okay. It doesn't really do too much. I think I do bring Goodra plus Landorus. Or, because I want Goodra to pressure Grimmsnarl and Fluttermane. The problem is the Koraidon. So there is a world I bring the Iron Juggles instead. My only concern with leading Iron Juggles is they lead Flutter Mane Koraidon. It's not a great lead start, I'd say. I think I will just bring it though, quick in the back, because I like the Tailwind speed control. It's really valuable. I think a lot of this is just going to come down to how well we position our weather Pokemon. Can we get our fast knockouts quickly? Because Goodra can. I don't know if they would exactly lead Koraidon, because if I do bring out the Kyogre, the damage output is very, very reduced. I at least have the Terra Water option too on the Goodra, but I do have to watch out Raging Bolt. So let's see what they decide to lead here. Gonna be Grimmsnarl, Raging Bolt. Okay, perfect. Super ideal. As we lead our Landorus and our Goodra. And you know, I am sometimes known as a greedy person. I do like to pin slots. Sandsear Storm seems pretty strong here if I land. And I could Earth Power to Grim, but they don't have a ground resist on these slots. And I feel like Flash Cat's not picking up the knockout on Grim. So I feel like Sandsear, if I hit one of these, it's the same as hitting an Earth Power, which is my logic. So I'm just going to Flash Cannon Sandsear. You go for Light Screen. Perfectly acceptable. Unfortunately, we have all special attackers, so that's all they need. We land both Sandsear, so that's beautiful. Grim should be going down. We got good damage in a Raging Bolt as well. Flash Cannon with the Choice Specs should just nuke the... Oh, we didn't actually nuke the Grim. A Volt Switch out into my Goodra. Alright. I think Goodra basically did what I... like a lot of damage to a Fairy type, which is kind of useful. Let's see. If Flutter Mane comes in, that's fine. If they bring out Koraidon, sure. Are they going to go for Collision Course? I can go for Sandsear and I could swap the Kyogre, which I think is fine. I'm going to Sandsear go to Kyogre. If they swap, like, I don't think their swaps are that great either. So I'm okay with that. I wonder what the Grim's going to click. If it clicks Thunder Wave, that's annoying, but we'll see. I'm just gonna make sure I get my accurate Sandsear this turn, because getting the knockout on Grim and getting damage on the Koraidon is actually very valuable. They go for Reflect, so Reflect is not gonna be very valuable in this scenario, so that's great. Dragon Claw. And as you can see, without that Sun Boost, the Koraidon wasn't even able to two-shot the Landorus with Dragon Claw. Interesting to see Dragon Claw though. That means they don't have Flame Charge most likely, so that's actually really useful. If they bring out Raging Bolt, that's fine. Yep. I'm pretty sure you still can't knock out the Landorus. I'm actually going to go for Sandsear. I'm expecting the swap. I'm actually just going to go for... I'm actually just going to Origin Pulse. Because if we land the Origin Pulse, I think we knock out... If we knock out the Raging Bolt, it'd be close. But I do like pinning the Koraidon slot. They go for Collision Course in case I Terra Grass. I think they're hard rating the Terra Grass actually, which is a-okay by me. That did a lot to Kyogre. Jeez. Ends here. Ooh, I don't think we knock out the Raging Bolt actually. Origin Pulse. Yeah, is able to hang on. Draco Meteor into the Landorus. We'll pick up a knockout, but Landorus has gotten all the damage I needed it to do realistically in this game. A lot of huge amounts to Raging Bolt, to chip into Grim. The chip into Koraidon is actually really valuable. We can now go Iron Juggles, get up a Tailwind. And Hurricane into Koraidon is very safe. We do pick up the knockout there, and then we can Origin Pulse. I would probably prefer Tailwind though. Actually, I do prefer Tailwind. I'm going to Tailwind, and I'm just going to go for... We have to land an Origin Pulse sometimes in this life. I think I will go for Origin Pulse. The reason I'm going to go for Origin Pulse is I feel like Koraidon really likely has to swap. They Thunderclap the Iron Juggles, which is an interesting play. I thought they were going to go Flutter Mane if they had it in the back to set up the Sun for Photosynthesis. With Light Screen, they should have taken the attack okay. Origin Pulse, we missed a Raging Bolt, which is really bad. We missed a knockout on Koraidon too. Collision Course. Oh, jeez. Well, that's not great. Okay. Well, Goodra, you kind of have to put in the work against a foe. I do not know what's in the back. I thought Fluttermane was switching in and Raging Bolt would Thunderclap and try to sack itself. As long as it's not, I guess if it's not gold, I do just Flash Cannon and it's super safe. And I always try to Koraidon because they could, because with the sun, like it's always more valuable to hit the Fluttermane. Ah, it's gold. I at least have Snarl pressure though. Nice, they didn't Thunderclap either, so Iron Juglist is healthier. Okay, this is still a winnable game, I suppose. Goodbye, Raging Bolt. Here comes a Flash Cannon. For some chip. And we are lowering that special attack on the Golden Go. Not bad, alright. I think this is very doable as an endgame. Leftover is going to heal the gold. So do I want to aggressively attack the gold? Because the Koraidon, very likely that I could just protect here. But then again, I don't know stall KOs. I feel like it should. But, you know, there are some risks out here. I don't think I have to go greedy and knock out the gold because the gold is going to be at is at -1 already. It could be -2 after this turn, assuming I connect. Could be back at neutral because it could nasty plot, but that's fine. I did go for protect. It's understandable. We get a Snarl off. Okay, we do land on the Golden Go once again. Chipping away to gold is still very, very solid. Flash Cannon, gonna go into the protect. Also, what can gold do to Goodra? They do nasty plot. Yeah, that's no surprise after seeing leftovers on Golden Go. So the Golden Go is back at neutral, but again, we do have Snarl just lowering this special attack on the Golden Go. So I'm really glad I did bring an endgame Iron Juglist. It was also good because of the Rain Dance combination. We'll go for Snarl. We'll go for Flash Cannon once again. I don't think I ever really want to Terra here. Because if they make it rain, they lower their own special attack. The Goodra resists it pretty heavily. Yeah, I think I'd rather just attack. They don't protect. They don't go for the double Koraidon, which I thought they would. Because if you double Koraidon, you could play for a Snarl miss or a just Snarl surviving. I don't think it was living Snarl realistically, but that was an option they had. Flash Cannon gonna come out to Golden Go. All right, the Golden Go's like too low, I think. You go for Nasty Pop, but sure. They do have to build up the damage, but at this point, pretty sure the Golden Go is just taking too much. They're only at +1 too, so they're not picking up a knockout, especially not onto Goodra. Last turn of Light Screen as well. I just always Snarl because I can't protect anyway in Flash Cannon. They're gonna protect, which I don't know if they could afford to protect there because that was the last sort of Light Screen. I think you actually needed to, if you need to do anything with the gold, I think you had to do it on that turn. Because even if you get this leftovers recovery, I think you had to go for the Snarl miss this turn, absorb the Flash Cannon through the Light Screen, and then fire back. I think because now the Light Screen's over, the Golden Go is just taking too much from this upcoming turn. Yeah, like Light Screen wears off, which was a huge mistake. I still think I always just click Snarl and Flash Cannon. Yeah, now Snarl just KOs Golden Go by itself, so... Okay, a little bit rough missing the Raging Bolt, but thankfully we were pretty up ahead thanks to the early Sandsear Storms just chipping away their team. I was not expecting the Dragon Claw on the Koraidon, but we'll take it because it's not that amazing of a move. We were able to get a lot of chip early on, and as I mentioned before, sure, Gripstar, like try to eliminate Gripstar early, Reflect didn't matter too much. Light Screen was the only one that did, was able to put on a lot of pressure because the lead was ended up being perfect. They love to lead Raging Bolt into Kyogre, but when there's a Landorus, changes a lot of the dynamic there. Tornadus, Incineroar, Calyx, Shadow Rider, Urshifu, Rillaboom, and Clefairy. Okay, pretty standard stuff. Torn... I mean, I do really like the Iron Juglist with Snarl. It puts on so much pressure against their team. Or do I even want to lead it? Actually, I'd probably prefer just leading Kyogre plus Tsareena. I think it's a pretty good lead here. I don't really need the Landorus, I think. Urshifu's fine, I suppose. I kind of like the Iron Jigglypuff and the Goodra. The Goodra actually helps because like if I could bait the Terra, like if they go for Terra Fairy because of the Iron Jigglypuff option, then they're in a really bad spot. They also don't exactly like dealing with the combination of Power Whip plus Water Spout. It does a ton of damage. If they lead Rillaboom, unless they're leading next to Tailwind, Triple Axle is just threatening so much damage into that Rillaboom that I could probably just threaten the knockout. I mean, my only concern is how much damage this Calyrex is doing, which is the big one. So let's see. The Calyrex is always going to be that wildcard factor. Are you leading Torn is a good question as well. We do see Calyrex Rillaboom, so this is not too surprising. I do lead the Tsareena plus the Kyogre. I think Iron Jugulis is always my play here for the Kyogre. I just don't see a reason why I would want to take a Astral Barrage or Wood Hammer straight up the bat. They could go for a U-turn, I suppose. I just like Iron Jugulis. I think it's a good play here. I'm actually going to go for Power Up into Calyrex. Because Power Up into Calyrex with Grassy Terrain does so much damage. So, again, if I can get rid of Calyrex, that's such a big advantage to me. So I'm going to try and take it. Go out into our Iron Jugulis. Get that booster energy speed. We'll be able to switch into an Astral Barrage. We'll be able to switch into the Rillaboom Wood Hammer. They do go for the Astral Barrage. Perfect. We take a lot with Tsareena, but that's okay. Hit the Wide Lens Power Whip. Almost just knock out the Calyrex, as you can see there. But Focus Sash? Yeah, it's Focus Sash. Which isn't too surprising. This ends up working out really well for me, though. They go for a U-turn, so smart. But I don't think that's too bad for me. Let's see who they bring out. Could be Torn, but if it's Torn, it's like whatever. Urshifu, that's fine. Yeah, they do go Torn. So I just go back into Kyogre. Yeah, I just go into Kyogre. I click Tailwind and I click Water Spout. Yeah, there's not really much they can do. They can't taunt me. I always get to maintain the speed advantage here, so I am going to go for a Water Spout into the Torn. And if they don't attack with Calyrex, then I'm pretty sure I guarantee the knock on a Torn. We know it's not Focus Sash. If they attack with Calyrex, I get rid of the biggest threat. If they switch out the Calyrex, that's fine as well, because then I could just Terra Grass. All right, we're going to see a Terra from my opponent. Is this Terra Fairy? Oh, wait, Draining Kiss. I guess Draining Kiss into Iron Jugulis is still fine. I don't think they heal enough HP to where Water Spout is just not pick up the knockout anyway. Tailwind. Although I don't think they KO, if I'm not mistaken. This is a really weak base power move. Let's see. It is max special attack, though. I guess I could have Terra'd there. They do heal a lot, but I'm pretty sure Water Spout will KO since it's a frail Calyrex. Should have considered that, though. Water Spout. Yeah, I just pick up a double knockout. I crit the Torn. I don't know if that mattered, but we don't have the speed advantage yet. I still think we're in a pretty okay spot. All right, Torn goes down. We get to go Goodra. I guess if it's Urshifu, it's not great. If it's Clefairy, then we're absolutely fine. They probably have to have Urshifu right in the back. You see Rillaboom. Oh, it's Clefairy. Yeah, they just lose to Goodra. Okay. Got a little punished by the Terra Fairy. I kind of forgot that this was, since it was Focus Sash, it was max special attack, so they actually had enough power to KO the Jugulis. So that was a miss right there. My opponent played that well. But yeah, they don't have an answer to this combination. Because I can always just Terra Grass, Ice Beam, Rillaboom, and I can go for Flash Cannon into Clefairy. They can't Terra because they've already used their Terra. Maybe I should have Water Spouted here, but Clefairy can definitely protect. I'm not sure if they would in this position, but definitely an option. They also have Fake Out, so I guess Fake Out Sing is play. They do Fake Out the Kyogre. Choice Specs Flash Cannon. I don't expect this to KO. Clefairy's bulky. Yep. The Heal Pulse to Rillaboom, but yeah, I'd rather focus on the Clefairy. Get rid of that Friend Guard so I can do more damage. Probably gonna protect. And even if they don't protect, like all they can do is really U-turn. They're gonna go for Helping Hand U-turn, it looks like. But you just can't touch the Goodra. U-turn, unless you have high horsepower. I guess if you have high horsepower, sure. But Ice Beam. Then I Flash Cannon. It does look like to be a Sylvest Rila. Ooh, Flash Cannon's not KOing. That's fine. Yeah, because I could just Flash Cannon the Clefairy. And Ice Beam the Rillaboom. They're probably gonna protect Clefairy, but like I don't have a reason to target down the Rila. Like, because otherwise I'd be into stall war of like Heal Pulse potential. Like if I did Flash Cannon the Rillaboom and they Heal Pulse, then they could protect, go for a thing. Like it just doesn't really end there. So I'd rather just keep Flash Cannon to Clefairy because I'm pretty sure that this Rillaboom doesn't have high horsepower. But that's high horsepower. I've eaten my words. But we already saw Fake Out. We saw U-turn. If it doesn't have Grassy Glide or Wood Hammer, that's insane. Because I don't think we've seen the grass move just yet. And when appears out for their side, grass disappears. Yeah, we just Flash Cannon the Clefairy. They probably go for a double protect, but I don't see this being high horsepower Rila. Because usually it's high horsepower and U-turn that's intertwined. We see Helping Hand from Clefairy, so maybe I'll eat my words here. Flash Cannon will knock out the Clefairy. You actually have high horsepower? No, it's just Wood Hammer. And you know what? We have Sap Sipper too. So yeah, no matter what, the Rillaboom was not able to do anything. Now gonna be forfeited. Yeah. If it was Urshifu in the back, could have been scary. I'm really glad I had the Goodra in the back because Goodra was so valuable. Just I guess a misplay on the Calyx with the Draining Kiss option on Iron Juggler. That was a really smart find that I didn't consider. But getting that KO with Water Spout, even if Torn survived, I don't think the game changing. I just don't think they had a way to break through Goodra. I was just gonna heal with Grassy Terrain. Flash Cannon was doing too much to them. I mean, regardless, like I would have been fine. All right, let's go over to games. In game one, a decent start, but the Walking Wake paired with Flutter Mane was very tough to deal with. I was able to rely on the Focus Sash Landers and maneuver around a position to win with a Draco Meteor Connect, but Goodra failed to hit the mark unfortunately and wasn't able to drop that Draco in the right place at the right time. In game two, this team was absolutely wild with Regice, but the Focus Sash Landers was huge to survive one Blizzard and then double up onto Iron Hands, picking up the knockout, sealed the game. In game three, Rayquaza is not a fun Pokemon for Kyogre, but they did not expect the Ice move on Urshifu and ended up getting heavily punished, losing the restricted Mon early and allowed Kyogre to sweep. In game 4, had an incredible lead and pushed the momentum to get some heavy damage while controlling the weather with my Kyogre. Though the Origin Pulse miss was unfortunate, Goodra and Iron Juggler was able to clean up the remaining under Tailwind. In game 5, a slight miscalculation on the Draining Kiss calc against my Iron Juggler ended up putting me in a really potential bad spot if I wasn't able to pick up the knockouts onto both sides of the field, as well as the Pokemon potentially in the back, especially if it was the Urshifu. But my opponent only brought the Calyx Shadow Rider apparently for the Goodra, so Goodra was actually able to clean up the remainder of the Clefairy and the Rillaboom in the back. I could have probably played a little bit different and maybe had to use my Terra in that case, because that was just a huge threat that could have happened if the Urshifu was remainder, and I really was not thinking that the Draining Kiss was going to be there and pick up that knockout into Iron Juggler specifically. But with a Focus Sash set, it did make sense that they had a special attack oriented Calyrex. Overall, Hisuian Goodra, I actually think it's really fun seeing like Dialga and Goodra take a more offensive approach. I think it's actually a pretty strong Mon, and especially if you can catch them off guard. I mean, it has already a really high special defense. It's not bad in its physical defense stat, and does actually have a pretty solid special attack stat that it can just take advantage of, being able to threaten really heavy damage onto a lot of Pokemon with its amazing coverage. It's overall not a bad Pokemon to use offensively, and every time I've used an offensive Goodra, I've actually liked it more than using the simple just Iron Defense and Body Press sets. If you'd like to try it out yourself, hopefully the rental code is still available, but is on your screen right now. You can check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description, and of course subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.